Hello, I'm Anthony Hobbs, and this is my review of the 1973 film The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. It was originally going to be called The Eighth Voyage of Sinbad, then Sinbad in India, but then The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, that seems to work well. Yeah, it sounds more epic, like a big adventure. And it's called The Golden Voyage of Sinbad for two reasons. Golden, metaphorically golden, as in the best of its kind, yeah, really epic adventure. And literally golden, because we have the golden amulets, yeah, and the vizier wears a golden mask, yeah. Okay, so, there are connections between this and the other Sinbad films. The Ray Harryhausen films, he did three Sinbad films. Is it a trilogy? Are they connected? Well, that's open to interpretation. I mean, it's different actors in each film, but you can interpret it as sequels if you like, or not, or separate adventures, yeah. Anyway, and I'd just like to say, when Star Wars came out in 1977, they said that before this, in the 70s, there was no good and evil clearly defined. Yeah, that's why Star Wars brought back this old genre. Well, good and evil is clearly defined in this film, and it's from 1973. Good and evil is clearly defined in The Three Musketeers, also made in 1973. So yes, we did still have epic adventure films, just not as many before Star Wars, yeah. Anyway, the story. John Philip Law, who played Pygar in the Angel in Barbarella, he plays Sinbad in this version. Oh yes, and unlike most Sinbad the Sailor films, they don't all talk in all American accents. No, they talk in like Arab accents. Yes, each actor saw a voice coach to learn to talk in like an Arab-like way. Yeah. Anyway, the opening sequence, well, we see some strange, mysterious creature straight away. A little imp or a gargoyle, a little goblin with wings, is flying above the ship. The storm frightens it and it drops the golden amulet. And the amulet, it's like a piece of a spider's web that's gold, yeah. And they don't know if it's good or evil, if it will bring bad luck to the ship. Well, Sinbad thinks we'll take a chance, it could be a vital clue, so he picks it up and wears it round his neck like a necklace. Then we see a kingdom in an Arab country, and Tom Baker, who went on to be Doctor Who a year later, yes, he's a powerful sorcerer called Prince Cora, and to make this gate close so the guards can't follow him, he says some magic words. I thought it was genuine Arab words, yeah. No, it's breakfast cereal slogans said backwards. Okay, well, it works. It sounds like an ancient language that he's chanting, yeah. And then Sinbad gets to meet the Grand Vizier, who's standing in because there's no Sultan, so he's like a caretaker for the throne. And he says to Sinbad, I've got something top secret to tell you. So they go in a secret room for a secret passageway. And there's a big picture of a ship that's been there hundreds of years, and they don't know what it means. And Sinbad shows him the golden bit of spiderweb. He goes, that's a great amulet. It's one of three. And the vizier says, here, I've got the other piece here. Oh, that was quick. We've got both parts straight away. Join them together. And then Sinbad walks backwards, holds the two amulets joined together in the shadow of the candlelight. And it makes lots of lines go on the picture. And Sinbad says, it's a nautical chart. It's coordinates to an unknown island. As well, that's very useful. We must get there, yeah. And there's some great treasure to be found on this island. But they don't know what it is. All they know is Prince Cora's after it, and Prince Cora intends to take over the kingdom. So whatever this power is, we must get it before he does, yeah. So it's a bit like Romancing the Stone or Time Bandits. The main characters are after a great treasure, but they don't know what it is until after they've found it, yeah. Unfortunately, this top secret meeting is being watched by another little imp, yeah, Cora's creation. It's like an extension of himself. What it sees, he can see too. And they manage to grab it, but then it suddenly turns into ashes, yeah. Oh yes, and every time Cora makes a magic spell, he ages a bit, like his hand or the side of his face gets wrinkles, yeah. That's the price you have to pay to use black magic. That's the price the evil spirits demand, yeah. Anyway, Sinbad sets sail. Oh, but before he does, he takes a rich man's son on the voyage, because the rich man's son, he's very lazy, doesn't do any work, goes out partying and boozing. He's used to the rich party lifestyle. But his father thinks a sea voyage would be good for character building. He'd make something of himself, yeah. And the rich man's son is played by the same actor that played the son of Zenobia in the Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. So yes, there's a connection between the films, yeah. And oh yes, and then in addition, he has to pay Sinbad 400 gold pieces to take his son on. In addition to that, he gives him a free slave girl, played by the gorgeous Caroline Munro, and she's sporting a huge cleavage, yes, drawing attention to her beautiful body. She looks gorgeous, yes, but that is not historically accurate. No, Arab women would not show lots of flesh in those days, but it's not meant to be 100% accurate. It's entertaining, yeah. And yes, it's drawing attention because, yes, Caroline Munro was a famous model at the time, yeah. And yes, when she's expressing her womanliness, she's drawing attention. She's a strong-willed woman. She's determined, yeah. And oh yes, and the thing that gets Sinbad's attention, she has a tattoo of an eye on her hand. And he saw that in a vision he had when he picked up the amulet, yeah. So she could be useful to the voyage, yeah. Then later in the story, after they've set sail, the slave girl is waiting for Sinbad in his cabin. Well, I say waiting for him. She's bowing down, but she does hold a dagger behind her back, yeah. So she's on the brink of attacking him, but then Sinbad says, no, you bow down to no one. I'm your master, and I'm officially giving you your freedom. Oh, so she's pleased with that. She's overwhelmed to have her freedom again. Then later on, we see her in a different costume, looking very beautiful again. Wait a minute, how come she has different clothes? This is a ship with only men on board. There's no women's clothing on board. How did she get the other clothes? Well, she does, yeah. And then much later in the story, when they're in the cave, the Fountain of Youth, Caroline Munro seems to have sweat all over her, so she looks more sexy than before, if that's even possible. Yeah, she looks absolutely stunning. The face of an angel and the body of a love goddess, yeah. And yes, she's like the love interest of Sinbad. There's one bit when he can go for the great treasure, but no, he has to rescue her from the monster first. And she says, why? Why didn't you go for the Fountain of Youth? And she says, well, because you are more important. He values her life more than anything else. So yes, Sinbad, a true blue, a true hero, yes. Save the life of the lady first, yeah. Okay. Before any of that, oh yes, the statue, the figurehead, a wooden statue comes to life on board Sinbad's ship to steal the sea chart, the map, yeah. And then after that, they get to the island of Lemuria where they find the treasure. Oh no, they don't. They don't find the treasure. They find a vital clue, yeah. Now, Lemuria is part of folklore. According to ancient Arab legend, it was a great island with a great advanced civilization. But sadly, the island sank beneath the sea, so nobody can find it now. So the Arab equivalent of Atlantis, basically, yeah. Anyway, this is in the days before it sank beneath the sea. There's no people there. Oh, right, so this great civilization. But they find, great sculptures and buildings, evidence that there were once clever people there, yeah. They go inside like an underground cave, and they see a head floating in the air. It's the Oracle, with strange, ugly teeth and 4 curled horns, so clearly some sort of supernatural entity. And he tells them where they need to go north to find your great treasure. He tells them what the 3 great treasures are, but he talks in riddles, so you have to pay attention to understand what he means, yeah. And the Oracle is played by Robert Shaw. Yes, the same Robert Shaw that went on to be in the movie Jaws, yeah. But he's uncredited. I suppose to make him more strange and supernatural, mysterious. He's uncredited, yeah. Anyway, then Cora uses his magic to make an avalanche of rocks so that Sinbad and his friends are trapped inside that building, yeah. They can't get out. However, Sinbad has to do some thinking. Yes, you need brains as well as brawn. And he sees a well, or what used to be a well, above them. And then he works it out. We get all our sashes and turbans, tie them all together, use a big metal spear as an arrow, fire it upwards, and it'll go onto the top of the well, and we climb. So in other words, that they can climb out, and that's their escape. So in other words, everyone gives up their turbans and sashes. They all work together as a team in order for this to work. They all do their bit, yeah. So they climb up, manage to get out safely. The ship sails on, but Cora is one step ahead. He manages to get to the land they're trying to get to. It's India, or a piece of India, an isolated part, because there's hardly any people. And when Cora gets there, he finds primitive savages that want to kill him. And then we see the statue of Kali. Now, this next bit was not made up for the film. It's based on Hindu folklore. There's an old legend of an explorer captured by savages, and they will spare his life if he can make the statue of Kali dance. So, of course, they're being sarcastic. That's physically impossible. But, so Korra's quite haggard by now, using magic, very old and withered. He uses another magic spell and it makes the statue dance. Now, there's different versions of Kali. One version has 4 arms, another version has 8 arms. This version has 6 arms. But it's really impressive stop-motion animation. And we see full use of those arms. Yes, when the statue dances, she moves all her 3 arms on this side and 3 arms on that side, moving about a lot. Yeah, so it's really good animation, yeah. And then Sinbad comes and he wants revenge because Korra tried to kill them all. And Korra, he agrees to fight, except he won't do the fighting personally. He gets the statue to fight for him, a statue of 6 arms, a sword in each hand. And it's very well choreographed, the way it fights, yeah. And Sinbad, this is too much even for him, so some of his men have to help him sword fight this statue, yeah. It kills one of his men, yeah. And then Sinbad continues fighting till they get the high ground on a high ledge up above the floor. And the useless son, the rich man's son, does something useful. At the exact right moment, he pushes the statue over the edge and it smashes to bits. The 3rd amulet is inside the statue. So they get that. Well, they don't get it because Korra gets it and he sets the savages against them. And revenge. They're all to be sacrificed to a Cyclops, you know. And poor Mariana, she's sacrificed first because she has the picture of the eye in her hand. Except Sinbad, he intends to go and rescue her, yeah. And then before that, Prince Korra, he goes to the first great treasure because there's 3 prizes, yeah. It's the Fountain of Youth that youths him, makes him young and strong again. Did he know the Fountain of Youth was here all along? I would have thought so, yes. How else would he justify aging a lot on the adventure? Because that doesn't bother him because he knew he'd be youthed afterwards, yeah. The second treasure is invisibility, which the Korra uses. Oh, before that, a guardian of the Fountain of Youth, a griffin, attacks the Cyclops. So just as the oracle said, the forces of good and evil ever fighting each other. But the deeds of mortal men can tip the balance one way or another. And Korra gives the Cyclops a hand by injuring the griffin. So the Cyclops kills him. Oh yeah, and I suppose I better mention that this version of the Cyclops in this film, he has the lower body of a horse. Yeah, okay. The reason for this, well, to make him more distinctive, but also because Ray Harryhausen said, I didn't want it to look like a man in a suit. So that's why he's like part centaur, part Cyclops. And Sinbad manages to kill the Cyclops, yeah. And then after that, then he's got to fight Korra. So he has a lot of challenges for him, yeah. Korra goes invisible. His sword is still visible. And then I think his sword goes invisible too. So that way he can't attack anything, yeah. And Korra hides behind the waterfall, the Fountain of Youth. He's on the brink of stabbing Sinbad. But then everyone does their bit, yes. Caroline Munro shouts, Sinbad, look behind you. And then, yes, because if something's invisible, if it's a solid object, you can see the outline in the water. So that's how she saw him. And at the last second, Sinbad kills Korra. And then after that, what's the third? The third prize is a crown of great riches. But Sinbad doesn't keep it for himself. He gives it to the Grand Vizier, who, in addition to it making him the king, it makes his ugly face go back to normal again. So yes, Allah be praised, yeah. And then later on, on their way back home, Mariana says to Sinbad, why did you give up that great crown of riches? You could have been the Sultan. And Sinbad says, because I value freedom. A king isn't free. He's told what to do and who to marry. So I want to be free. And he wants to be with Mariana. So yeah. One issue that isn't discussed, wait a minute, Sinbad and Mariana, they know where the Fountain of Youth is. Why don't they go there every 10 years to youth themselves to live for a long time? Are they going to do that? Make use of it? No, that's never clearly discussed. No, okay. But yes, it is an enjoyable film. It has all the ingredients you want. Lots of cool monsters. Great adventure, yes. Good and evil, clearly defined, yeah. And an overall feel-good factor story. And yes, we have stuff of legend, like the statue coming to life. Add a bit of culture to the story as well, yes. Make everyone familiar with ancient legends of our ancestors. Well, in Cara Munro, when she's attacked by the Cyclops, when they made the film, there was no thing for her to interact with. She just had to use her imagination a lot. That's how they did it in those days. Okay, so overall, an enjoyable film. Thank you for watching. I'm Anthony Hobbs and I'm never bored.